Hey everybody, Christopher John Stubbs here, the Breakthrough Alchemist, bringing some thoughts to you that have been festering around in me for the last few months. I've been just coming to these realizations around personal power, spiritual expansion, and overall just growth and being able to access a place inside of me that feels certainty no matter what environment I'm placed in or no matter what circumstance I'm dealing with. And I've been wanting to share this with you, but it's been just kind of percolating inside. I've been wanting to be able to deliver this message with clarity and purpose so that you can receive it and translate it into massive value in your life. So there's this piece I'm realizing around developing personal power and certainty by being comfortable and being able to be centered and grounded in any circumstance. So there's so many of us that have learned to be happy and at peace as long as everything's peaceful around us. But what happens when everything goes to chaos? What happens when everything gets loud? What happens if someone's yelling in your face, or you're faced with life or death circumstance, or anything else that you have deemed not okay, not safe? Now, I want to speak to the importance and the criticalness of one being able to source their own well-being, to be able to generate a sense of peace and well-being under any and all circumstances, no matter where you're at, no matter what's happening outside of you, that inside of you, you are 100% at choice with what you experience and being able to react or choose from a place of peace, of calmness, of actual conscious choice versus going into a fight or flight response where you become at the effect of the event, or you become the victim of the circumstances. So there's these key pieces that I've been realizing that so many people are scared of. People tend to be more horrified of public speaking than they are of death. Which translates over as well into the video, like making a video like this. I've faced these fears myself tremendously in the past, and I see people all the time thinking that video is scary and death is scary and all these different things. So I want to speak to that, and I also want to speak to the importance of accepting all aspects of ourselves. It's a critical piece to accessing this inner personal power and certainty that allows us to make the changes we want to make in the world, to face the adversity, to enjoy ourselves no matter what's going on, and to just increase our capacity so that we can expand exponentially and eternally. So video is this, death is one thing, public speaking is another thing, video is another thing, swearing. People are losing their cool and their peace of mind and their good feelings around swearing. So just, guys, as you watch this, pay attention and listen. Like, where is it that you lose your power? Where is it that you've made up stories and adopted beliefs that make it so that you can no longer be at peace, or you can no longer hear a message, or you can no longer show up in your power because something outside of you is showing up outside of the little boundaries that you've set up? So can you be at peace? And again, this polarity piece, the peace and the polarity of being okay with having the swearing or not having the swearing, having the public speaking or not having the public speaking, doing video or not doing video, going to a bar and being at peace or not going to a bar and being at peace, being in a dark alley. Are you confident and certain that you can walk into a dark alley and know that you can take care of yourself? Emotionally, mentally, physically, that you can generate that peace of mind and that you can take care of yourself. Do you have this knowledge, this certainty, this ability? We've been playing around a little bit lately with learning some martial arts, some mixed martial arts, and tussling with each other and finding this place inside like, wow, it's not so scary to be at choice around my physical strength and my ability to protect myself, and it's not so scary and overwhelming to take a punch or take some, grappling or whatever. And my self-worth really isn't tied up into it the way that I think it is. And many of us have just made it out to be bad or wrong, which we tend to do with most things just because we're going along just fine. Someone swears, someone yells, someone gets big energy, someone fights. We feel a fear, and instead of acknowledging that we feel fear, we just make up a judgment and a projection about what's actually happening, and then we believe that and reinforce it. We lose our power to be in presence and to be at choice on what we create out of that, how we react with it. So, could you go into the ghetto and be at total peace? Could you go into a high-end neighborhood, live in a high-end neighborhood and be at total peace? Could you live in the ghetto and be at total peace? Could you have all the money and all the wealth and all the material possessions in the world and be at total peace with that? And could you have nothing and be at total peace with that? So people tell me all the time that they're confident, they're certain, they're so confident because they have money, because they get women, because they have nice cars and houses. And what I find is most people are not truly confident. Most people, most of you, have not done the work necessary to proclaim that you are truly confident. The way I know if you're truly confident is if you can get a call today, find out your wife's having an affair on you, your husband's having an affair on you, you lost everything, you're bankrupt, you live in a trailer, you have nothing, your children died, that anything in your world could happen. And yes, you will have feelings. Yes, it will be a challenging experience likely, but you will not be devastated or overpowered by the circumstance because of your capacity to be present, to communicate, to sort through the truth and the lies, and to understand the deeper meaning and purpose behind it all, as well as other things. So, but coming to peace with succeeding, coming to peace with failing. Can you be okay with, I'm okay with succeeding, and I'm okay with failing? So when you resist and say, I'm not okay with failure, then failure happens in this world. So how do you show up when you believe that you're not okay with failure? First off, you're probably not going to try things and do things that you ought to be doing. Second off, you're probably not going to go all in on them, because if you do and you fail, then you feel like a loser. Third off, I don't know third off, but point is, if you're okay with failing and you're okay with not failing, then you're open to have full access to power on all aspects of that continuum. So, could you sit down? So consider these things. I'm going to just give you a list of things that may put you out of your comfort zone so that you can have an opportunity to look at what can you do to bring love and peace to these dark places within you so that you can thrive under any and all circumstances. So could you sit one-on-one with an ultra successful, like the most successful person you can imagine? Could you sit one-on-one with them comfortably? And if not, just consider, what could I do to start facing into that? Because part of this message is about the importance of facing your fears. Take your fears, and instead of hiding from them, resisting them, avoiding them, face directly into them and go into them. And what you will find is on the other side of that, your capacity increases so much in the process of moving through the fear that you no longer have the issue. So for instance, if you were to be hanging, maybe you're a man or a woman who's hanging out with a supermodel, do you get uncomfortable? Having a lot of money, could you be comfortable with having a whole lot of money? Could you be comfortable with having no money and living off the land, living off zero money? Could you be comfortable being in relationship, the most amazing, passionate, loving relationship? And could you be fully comfortable and at peace and alive and happy having no relationship at all? If that's even possible. Could you be at peace being married? And could you be at peace with not being married? And could you be at peace with being divorced? And could you be alright with not being divorced? And could you be okay with having lots of friends or having no friends? Having literally everyone hate you and everyone turn on you. Could you be okay and generate your own peace and well-being in that circumstance? Could you be okay with dying today? Could you be okay with loved one or loved ones dying? And could you be okay with not dying? So many people want to die. They have this unconscious death urge. They're like, this planet sucks. It's negative. It's scary. It's overwhelming. I want out of here. I want out of here. There's so many people that want off the planet. Can you get okay with being here on the planet? And trust me, I used to not want to be here. I used to be waiting for the day that I could get out of here. So could you be completely okay with being right here on this planet and enjoying every moment with it? And could you be okay with leaving the planet at any time? Could you be okay with your kids leaving at any time, or your lover? If not, your confidence is not certain. It is built on a sandy foundation. Now, some more things you may be uncomfortable with. Could you be comfortable, I know I used to be horrified of this, approaching an ultra-successful, highly rich, highly successful person and approaching them on it with an investment? So could you approach a highly successful investor with confidence and certainty and clarity and be just present with who you are without stumbling over your words, without getting scared or nervous? If not, I suggest you face into that and overcome that. Now, same thing applies for, your dream mate. Could you handle that? Could you handle fighting? Could you, man or woman, get in the ring right now and go sign up for a fight and compete in a fight, win or lose? Could you be comfortable and confident that you're okay whether you win or lose? You're okay whether you feel pain or don't feel pain. Can you be okay with having pain and be okay with not having pain? So it's about accepting the polarity, accepting all aspects of life, accepting your light, accepting your darkness, embracing all aspects of you and life, and instead of just packaging these things are okay, these things are not okay, because the second you have secluded those things, which isn't how life actually is, now you lose power every time life delivers, or you create in your life a circumstance that manifests the shit that wasn't okay for you. So maybe you're only okay with happy, soft, gentle messages and feelings. Maybe you're only okay with intense warrior messages. Can you be okay with the intensity of the warrior message and the gentleness of the deepest, most unconditional love possible? Can you go to both those places? The power is found in the person who can go loud, he can go quiet, he can be an introvert, she can be an extrovert. This man or woman, this most empowered version of you can be anywhere, anyhow, anytime, with anybody, no matter what's happening, and be at peace, be empowered, generate their own place of power within, of certainty, of well-being, at choice, by will, because they don't believe the limiting beliefs. They know how to sort through and shift into presence. And you have faced into fear after fear after fear after fear until there's nothing left that can take you out of the game. And so myself, this has expanded and expanded and expanded for so many years now, that things that used to horrify me. I used to be, believe it or not, a complete introvert. Wouldn't have spoke publicly if my life depended on it. Wouldn't have made a video if my life depended on it, let alone take a picture or even write something that might possibly generate somebody challenging, questioning, attacking, criticizing, or even disagreeing with me. I was so addicted to people's approval. So are you all right with having people approve of you and having them not approve of you? Are you all right with fully loving and fully being loved? Can you be okay? Could you be in your element at a 10-day silent meditation retreat and be at peace within you and in a place of power, or would that demolish you? And could you go to warrior camp, be fighting, running, burpees, beach, intensity, in your face, boot camp, and could you be okay and in your power, or does that scare the shit out of you, and do you avoid these things because that's been your pattern your entire life, is to avoid everything that you feel uncomfortable around, and so you continue to lose power, lose capacity instead of gaining power and capacity? Could you be okay with learning in public? So many people think they need to keep their shit private. Deal with their stuff in private because there's all these social rules and agreements about public stuff, what's public, what's not. And all that is just built to create a safety net because most of you are scared shitless about being you in the public's eye because you're scared of the scrutiny you will face, the judgment, the criticism, and all the effects that happen, especially you from small towns who deal with gossip and all the other shit that happens. I'm telling you, there is such a liberation available. If you will learn to love yourself on levels so deep that you can be you with all your faults, all your weaknesses, all your strengths, all your greatness, and you own all of it so you don't have to hide any of it and you can just be you. I've read these like afterlife, near-death experience books over and over again, and they all describe this experience of a heaven where everyone knows what everyone else is thinking. And we have Eminem here who just says what's on his mind and he becomes the #1 all-time best-selling artist ever. Just because he's willing to say what's on his mind and be him. He's not even that conscious. He's not even not that loving or like he's got all this greatness to share, but mostly the greatness that inspires people in him is that he's willing to just be him and quit playing the games with all the false pretenses and stories and masks and personas that everyone walks around with. He just be's him, and people want to just be themselves, to finally be liberated and stop living their lives for the rest of the world. I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to me, I'm speaking to all of us I'm calling us. Let's be liberated, let's be free, let's be our true authentic selves, let's learn in public. Let's come to terms with our lightness and our darkness so that we can expose more and more light to all of our dark places until ultimately we become pure light instead of continuing to hide the boogeyman in the closet and hope that somehow, someday, if we continue to lock it away, it'll go away. Can you handle being bold? Are you okay with being gentle? Are you okay with being judged, hated, criticized, attacked, blamed? Can you be at peace with that, or do you have stories and beliefs that it's not okay? That that's not a safe environment? What is safe to you? What if you could create a world where you source your own safety and you could make any environment a safe environment? Many of you are scared about money, scared to quit your job, so you're stuck in dead-end jobs. You're stuck in a dead-end life because you don't know whether you can generate money or not. You don't know, and it's not about the money. You don't know if you can provide for yourself and your family or not. You don't know if you don't have the certainty that in any economy, anytime, anywhere, you could wake up, go provide value for the world, receive a transaction of value back, and that you could provide for yourself and your family anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Do you have any idea how empowering that feels to not be limited to think someone else has to provide you a job or you're screwed, your family's going to die? Brother, liberate yourself. Don't live under this slavery of not knowing with absolute certainty that you can wake up any day, anytime, anyhow, in any environment and thrive, and that you and your family will be alive and well because of your ability to shift, to be present, to love fully, to create value, to create exchange. There's mindsets, there's skill sets, and there's environments that are available to you that can empower you to create your own reality that you actually love and enjoy fully. Yes, I'm passionate about this, and yes, I'm speaking with passion to you, and if you can't handle that passion, and you're sitting right there right now judging me, saying you don't look happy, you're so intense, blah, blah, get off of here. This isn't for you. There's a time to be passionate, there's a time to be bold, there's a time to be soft, there's a time to meditate, there's a time to love. And all of this is with love. I'm speaking to you with love. And yes, I'm intense about this because I'm damn well aware of the intensity that you face every day of your life, that I have faced so many years of my life in being stuck in a mediocre life, a dead-end job, a half-assed relationship, lacking power, lacking certainty, living a life of fear, not knowing if I could live where I wanted to live, feed my family, survive just in this survival, fight or flight response, versus living a life full out, being all of me, following my heart, fulfilling my purpose, and just being certain and happy and at peace, waking up every day knowing my family is okay and that I'm not just living a life chasing money to pay the bills. I'm actually living a life where I make a positive contribution in the world, where I be the change I wish to see in the world, where I liberate and transform people's lives every single day, where I empower others and I see how much of a good time I can have in the process and how many people I can assist to have the best time possible, having as much fun and as much joy and as much fulfillment as possible while learning, growing, and expanding in every way possible. Life is a game. Life is a game. Life is a game, and it's a game of expansion, of eternal expansion. How far can we expand our stewardship? How far can we expand our capacity? How far can we expand into love? How far can we expand into integrity? How far can we expand into peace and power and freedom and joy and prosperity and power and strength, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Guys, we are meant to thrive. Embrace all aspects of yourself and life. Embrace both sides of all of it. Embrace the polarity. Embrace it within you, embrace it without you, and get committed to learning the skills you need to know so that you can thrive in any circumstance. Guys, I invest in my health and my fitness every day so that I know I'm prepared mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It clears things out and gets me in a place of power. I fight physically to access something. There's this power that comes with it. It's not about hurting people. It's not about dominating anybody. It's not about all the ego things that you've made up that it's about. It's about having access to all aspects of myself and being able to be at choice at when I access those and how I access those, for what reasons, and what I create that's positive out of that. Utilize all aspects. You deserve everything. You deserve to have the best. All you need to do is level up your environment, invest in your mindsets, invest in your skill sets and abilities, and you can have it all. Thank you for spending your time watching this video. It's an honor to meet you here. I see the greatness in you. I stand for the greatness in all of us. I commit to being my greatest self and expanding into the next greatest version of myself every day and every way for the rest of my existence. One step at a time. And I invite you to join me for the ride. Expanding eternally into unconditional love, impeccable integrity, prosperity, freedom, joy, peace, and all that is good in every way. Create an amazing, amazing life. Let me know how I can help you.